peerage struggled for attention, for no one was here to see her. The peerage was here to see each other and be seen, nothing more. Interesting, Maria murmured, recalling a sketch of the popular pirate. Uncommon handsome he was, and as deadly as she. His exploits were widely bandied, some tales so outrageous she knew they could not possibly be true. St. John was discussed with intemperate eagerness, and there were wagers aplenty on how long he could escape the noose. They must be desperate indeed to spare him. All these years they've searched for the irrefutable proof of his villainy, and now that they have it, they bring him into the fold. I dare say neither side is pleased.
I do not care how they feel, Welton dismissed curtly. I simply wish to know who I can extort to keep quiet about it.
Such faith in my charms, she drawled, hiding how her mouth filled with bile. To think of the deeds she had been forced into to protect and serve a man she detested. Her chin lifted. It was not her stepfather she protected and served. She merely needed him alive, for if he were killed, she would never find Amelia. Welton ignored her jibe.
Have you any notion what that information would be worth?
She gave a nearly imperceptible nod, aware of the avid scrutiny that followed her every movement. Society knew her husbands had not died natural deaths, but they lacked proof. Despite this morbid certainty of her guilt, she was welcomed into the finest homes eagerly. She was infamous, and nothing livened up a gathering like a touch of infamy. How do I find him?
You have your ways.
He stood, looming over her in the shadows of the rear box, but Maria was not cowed. Aside from concern for Amelia, nothing frightened her any longer. Welton's fingers lifted one of her curls.
Your sister's hair is so like yours. Even powder cannot truly hide its gloss.
Go away. His laughter lingered long after he parted the curtains and exited to the gallery. How many years would she be forced to endure that sound? The investigators who worked for her were unable to turn up anything of value. Brief sightings of her sister and barely warm trails. So many times she had been close, but Welton was always one step ahead, while every day her soul grew blacker at his behest.
Do not be fooled by her outward appearance. Yes, she is short of stature and tiny, but she is an asp waiting to strike.
Christopher St. John settled more firmly in his seat, disregarding the agent of the Crown who shared the box with him. His eyes were riveted to the crimson-clad woman who sat across the theatre expanse. Having spent his entire life living amongst the dregs of society, he knew affinity when he saw it. Wearing a dress that gave the impression of warmth and bearing the colouring of hot-blooded Spanish sirens, Lady Winter was nevertheless as icy as her title. And his assignment was to warm her up, ingratiate himself into her life, and then learn enough about her to see her hanged in his place. A distasteful business, that, but a fair trade in his estimation. He was a pirate and thief by trade, she a bloodthirsty and greedy vixen.
She has at least a dozen men working for her,
Viscount Sedgwick said.
Some watch the wharves, others roam the countryside. Her interest in the agency is obvious and deadly. With your reputation for mayhem, you two are very much alike. We cannot see how she could resist any offer of assistance on your part.
Christopher sighed. The prospect of sharing his bed with a beautiful wintry widow was vastly unappealing. He knew her kind, too concerned over their appearance to enjoy an abandoned tumble. Her livelihood was contingent upon her ability to attract wealthy suitors. She would not wish to become sweaty or tax herself overmuch. It could ruin her hair. Yawning, he asked,
May I depart now, my lord?
Sedgwick shook his head.
You must begin immediately, or you will forfeit this opportunity.
It took great effort on Christopher's part to bite back his retort. The agency would learn soon enough that he danced to no one's tune but his own.
Leave the details to me. You wish me to pursue both personal and professional relations with Lady Winter, and I shall.
Christopher stood and casually adjusted his coat.
However, she is a woman who seeks the secure financial